Hey guys, it's Katie with Vanvis, and this is the first installment of a video series we are trying on van cooking. The idea behind this series is to give you both a look into our lives here in the van, as well as some recipes that you can try in your home. Tonight I'll be making my take on a green Indian curry with a side of jasmine rice. So I have the rice on to boil now. I used this basmati rice from Trader Joe's and just followed the directions that are on the package. So I went with 1 cup of the rice to 2 cups of water and just a little bit of salt. So that's on to boil now. So now I'm gonna get started with the curry. I'm gonna get this pan warming up here while I cut the onions. I want to have the warm pan first before I put the oil in. I don't even know what it's for. My mom's always told me to do that. So that's my style. Thanks, Mom. I'm gonna dice these up pretty thin. I want to get them caramelizing before I put anything else in, and I think it adds a lot to the flavor. So it looks like my pan's hot. I'm gonna spray with a little bit of organic canola oil. Not a lot, but just enough to kind of get the onions starting to caramelize. So I'm going to finish chopping these up here and get them into the pan. Now, this is a reminder that I am definitely a home chef, not professional by any means. So if you are a professional and you're watching this and you see my horrific techniques, I'm sorry. I promise that my food is good though. All right, let's get these into the pan. So I want to get these onions caramelized, like I said before, but my next step is I'm going to add some garbanzo beans. I love garbanzo beans in my curries, so I'm going to add just these plain garbanzo beans from Trader Joe's. I'm going to repurpose this. You got to make do when you live in a van. Not gonna have the kitchen that you've always wanted, but I promise you can still eat great food. So I've drained the garbanzo beans. I'm gonna throw these into the pan. I add these early because I like them to get soft and soak up some of the juices of the curry. I don't like it when they're a little tough. So I am gonna add the whole can. It's just Tom and I eating, but I like to make more than I know that we'll need, because if we can have 2 meals in one, I like to do that. So I'm gonna let this cook down. While I do that, I'm gonna get some of the cauliflower chopped up. So while the onions and the garbanzo beans are simmering here in the pan, I'm going to add a little bit of this korma curry seasoning. I used it in a curry last week and it was really good. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this in, and Tom's gonna go wash that dish that I just dropped. So I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle it in. I don't want a ton, I just wanna give some flavor to these onions and garbanzo beans simmering. So a lot of the stuff that I do in van cooking, and really cooking in general, is by eye. So I've cut about 1/4 of a cauliflower here. If you're feeding more people, then use more. If it's just you, maybe use a little bit less. I just kind of dice this up. I'm gonna add it in here. Typically every time I cook, I just kind of do things by eye. It's about 1/2 a cauliflower just diced up. I'm gonna add this into the garbanzo beans and the onions. Carefully, won't drop that again. And we'll mix this all together so that the seasonings cover the cauliflower as well. All right, now I'm gonna cut just a few cherry tomatoes. These aren't gonna go in right away. They're gonna go in towards the end, but I'm gonna just get them cut up anyway. I'm just putting the tomatoes off to the side. Those will go in at the end. These vegetables are starting to kind of cook down now. I found this product, Trader Joe's does not carry curry paste or curry powder. That's pretty much exclusively where we shop now, living in California. But I did find this Thai green curry simmer sauce, and so I'm gonna use just a little bit of this. There's a lot of sodium in this product, so I like to cut it with a dairy product. Tonight I'm gonna use some Greek yogurt. I sometimes use coconut milk, which is also awesome, but tonight I had Greek yogurt on hand, so that's what I'll use. So I'm just gonna kind of cover the vegetables that are in the pan. It's probably around a half of a cup of the simmer sauce, and then again I'm just gonna use whatever I have left of the Greek yogurt, which is probably about the same amount of Greek yogurt as well. So I'll get that going in the pan. The Greek yogurt also adds kind of a tanginess to the curry, which I really appreciate. It also cuts a little bit of the spice. Tom likes the spice, but I'm kind of a weenie. Right, this is looking and smelling really good. Alright, and really after you add the sauce, it can be done at any point. I do kind of like my vegetables to get a little bit soft, but not mushy. So I'm gonna leave this on probably another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready to serve it up. All right, so now it's time to plate. This is the moment that I have been waiting for. I'm really hungry. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of rice at the bottom. With the rice I made extra so that I can use it for another meal, maybe a salad or another curry dish. So you have your rice in the bottom, and then I'm actually gonna use the spoon again for the curry because I like the sauce a lot. So I'm gonna top the rice with our curry dish and then the tomatoes. I like to add them on top just for a little bit of freshness. And again, this is my take on an Indian dish, so please don't get offended if you are Indian. This is just my rendition. So there you are.